Hello everyone, welcome back to CodeChef. In this video, we are going to learn graph traversal algorithms step by step from the very basics. If graphs feel confusing right now, don't worry. By the end of this video, they'll feel much more approachable. I highly recommend that you practice while learning by opening the CodeChef online compiler. The link is available in the description below. Alright, let's begin.
What does graph traversal mean? Before jumping into algorithms, let's understand what traversal even means. Traversal simply means visiting every node of a graph in some order. Now, the big question is, in what order do we visit the nodes? There are two very popular and very important ways to do this. First is breadth first search. Second, depth first search. Both do the same job, visiting nodes, but in a very different way. Now let's talk about breadth first search. BFS or breadth first search explores a graph level by level. Think of breadth first search like first, visit everything close to me, then move one step farther, then one more step farther. Imagine you are standing in a city and want to explore. First, you'll explore nearby streets, then streets 1 block away, then streets 2 blocks away. That's breadth first search. Now this is a visual representation of how a breadth first search looks. Now we start from node 0. We visit 0, visit all the neighbors of 0, that is 1 and 2. Now we visit neighbors of 1, that is 3 and 4. Then we visit the neighbors of 2, that is 5. Let's understand step by step breadth first search order. First we visit 0, then visit all members of 0, that is 1 and 2. Then we visit members of 1 and 2, that is 3, 4 and 5. Data structure used in breadth first search. Breadth first search uses a queue. Why? Because the first node that comes in is the first node that goes out. It uses FIFO or first in, first out. Where is breadth first search used? It is used in finding the shortest path in unweighted graphs. It is used in finding connected components, and it is also used in level order traversal. Now let's talk about breadth first search algorithm step by step. First, we start at a source node, add it to a queue, mark it as visited. While the queue is not empty, we remove the front node, visit all unvisited neighbors, and add them to the queue. Depth first search. Think of exploring a maze. You keep walking forward, then you hit a dead end. Turn your back and then try another path. That's depth first search. Let's look at the diagram that represents DFS. Here we start at 0, then we go to 1, and then we go to 3. This is going depth first. Then we come back, we explore 4, then we come back, and then we go to 2, and then we explore 5. This is how depth first search works. Data structure used in depth first search. We use recursion or explicit stack in DFS. Now where is depth first search used? It is used in detecting cycles, topological sorting, and checking path existence. Now let's compare breadth first search and depth first search. The traversal style for breadth first search is level by level, whereas in depth first search we go deep. Data structure we use for BFS is queue, whereas for DFS is stack recursion. We find the shortest path in breadth first search and not in depth first search. And the memory used by breadth first search is more in comparison to depth first search. Now let's talk about Dijkstra's algorithm. Here, our problem statement is to find the shortest distance from one node to all other nodes in a weighted graph. But why do we use breadth first search for it? Because breadth first search assumes all edges have equal weight, and real graphs have different costs. Always pick the unvisited node with smallest distance so far. Now let's go to the CodeChef compiler to look at Dijkstra's algorithm. The Dijkstra's algorithm is greedy. That is, we will choose the next best option. Now here we create an array D. We will store the distance in vertex I from the source. So initially, d of v is equal to 0 and u is not equal to v. So d of u is infinity. Here v is the source. So also make a visited array vis. This will tell us which vertices have been considered or not. Initially, all indices of vis are marked false. So now let's look at the code. here is our sample input that we'll be providing, and this is our expected output. So here as task, we have been given a complete implementation of Dijkstra's algorithm. Following graph is processed using the algorithm, and we have to run the code and check the output. Now let's look at the code line by line. So here are our header files. Now here, define n11 is the maximum number of vertices allowed, indexing from 1 to 10. Now here this line, a very large value representing infinity, used to initialize distances before shortest paths are unknown, and LL means long literal. So here are our global variables, long d of n. Here this stores the shortest distance from the source to the vertex. So this is the adjacency list stored as a 2D array. For each vertex, even index, we have a neighbor, and odd index, we have a weight. So here you can see our even index. So this is adjacency size. It stores how many entries each vertex has, and then it helps to know where to insert our next edge. This line bool with n means vertex n is already processed in Dijkstra. Now here this adds an edge from vertex u to vertex v with given weight, and this stores the destination of the vertex, and here this line stores the edge weight right after the vertex, and adjacency size u plus is equal to 2. This is increased by 2 because we stored one vertex and one weight. Now here we have Dijkstra's function, void Dijkstra in source comma int n. This runs Dijkstra's algorithm. The source is starting vertex and n is the number of vertices. So from here you can see that we begin our initialization. Initially distance to all vertex is equal to infinity and no vertex is visited. This d source is equal to 0, that is distance from source to itself is 0, and our main Dijkstra's loop starts here. For int I is equal to 1, this line runs at most n times once per vertex. So here you can see v with minimum distance and pur is the smallest distance found so far. Now this line checks all the vertices, and if here we have a condition, so like if j vertex is unvisited, it has smaller or equal distance, we update the current best vertex. So here we can see if no unvisited vertex remains, we stop the algorithm and we print processing vertex along with which vertex is being processed. Now viz v is equal to 2 marks the vertex v as visited. So this line here, it loops through adjacency list of v, and then k plus is equal to 2 because the entries are in vertex comma weight pairs. Now int u is equal to adjacency v k, this is the neighbor vertex, and int weight is equal to adjacency v and k plus 1, this is the weight of the edge. So this line is basically if a shorter pair is found via v, we update the shortest distance to u. Now this is where our main function begins. So we initialize adjacency sizes. So here no edges initially for the vertex. Now here we are building the graph. Since graph is unidirected, edges are added both ways. So here you can see add edge 1, 2, 4, this edge between 1 and 2 with weight of 4. Same logic applies to all the edges that are shown here. And then this runs Dijkstra's algorithm. So Dijkstra 1, 6 is source vertex 1 and total vertices is 6, and it finally prints the final distances. So this prints the shortest distance from vertex 1 to every vertex. Now with return 0 and closing bracket, we complete the program and we run this program. So here you can see which vertex is being processed at every point. So 1, 3, 2, 4, 6 and 5, and the distance of vertex 1 is 0, 2, 4, 3, 2, so on and so forth. So let's finally summarize what we've learned. We've learned that breadth first search is level-wise traversal, depth first search is depth-wise traversal, Dijkstra is the shortest path with weights, and these are 4 graph algorithms.
That was it for this video. Now practice these algorithms on CodeChef. Keep practicing, keep coding, and I'll see you in the next lesson.